Middle East now to Yemen, where the Pentagon says it is evaluating a military response to failed missile attacks on U.S. naval ships in the Red Sea, warning Tuesday the nearby Yemeni-based Houthi rebels thought to be responsible launched the missiles at their own peril. Officials say the two missiles launched over a one-hour period missed their targets and landed harmlessly in the water Sunday. The Pentagon says that the missiles came from Yemen territory controlled by Houthi fighters who are seeking to topple President Rabu Mansour Hadi. The U.S. military has been providing intelligence and logistics to Saudi-led coalition warplanes, which began targeting Houthi positions inside Yemen earlier this year. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia says it will partially ease the blockade surrounding rebel-controlled areas of Yemen to evacuate people wounded in a deadly airstrike at a funeral last weekend. But analysts say if emergency humanitarian aid is not also allowed into the country, Yemen faces an imminent starvation crisis. Now, for more details on the situation in Yemen, VOA Pentagon correspondent Carla Babb joins us live for the U.S. military headquarters. Hello, Carla.
Hi, Vincent.
Now, the United States has said that if further investigations reveal that the Iran-allied Houthi rebels, in fact, did attack or launch this attack, there will be some form of retaliation, possibly. What could this be?
Well, I don't want to get ahead of the situation, Vincent. What Pentagon spokesman Captain Jeff Davis said that anyone that targets the United States military does so at their own peril. But let's keep in mind here, the United States is not at war with the Houthis. It's not like when the Islamic State or when Al-Qaeda strikes a military target, we strike back because the United States has an authorization to be at war. This is not the case here. So this would have to go through the channels at the White House and the State Department before anything would happen through the U.S. military.
Now, the Houthis have said, well, we didn't do this, in fact, publicly, but also we are hearing that they may have also communicated this privately. My sense is that they don't want to antagonize the United States. What's your read on this?
Well, it's safe to say here at the Pentagon, no one thinks that antagonizing the United States military is a good idea. The problem with the Houthis is that this strike appears to have come from the Houthi rebel-held territory. That's problem number one. There are Iranian capabilities that the Houthis have that could have caused this. That's problem number two. And the Houthi rebel leader was just saying on Saturday that the United States was responsible for that bombing of the funeral. He was saying that the United States has provided the Saudis with all the equipment it needs. The United States is planning, that was the words he used, planning these airstrikes. And none of that is true. And the United States has been very, very patient and thoughtful in staying out of this war. They have provided the Saudis with some refueling as soon as this week. That is how the United States is helping in this conflict. They're helping the Saudis, their allies, with refueling. But aside from that, the United States has stayed focused on Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, AQAP, and not with this conflict that's been going on since March of 2015.
Now, with this very complex situation, Carla, from what you're hearing, how are things on the ground? Are things getting any better, especially militarily, security-wise?
Well, that's the problem. They're not getting any better. This is a situation that ebbs and flows. Some weeks you'll see improvement and progress, and then some weeks you'll see a failure on both sides to do anything. And the humanitarian situation is not being solved either. So this is a real serious issue for Yemen. They don't have a government that can keep things going, and they don't have a way to get aid in. It's a horrible situation, and many are saying that the United States needs to step forward and needs to start taking part in this conflict to get some aid in. But the Pentagon right now is still staying out.
Okay. Thank you very much, Carla, for your reporting, as always.
Thank you. Anytime.
Thanks.